What's going on, everyone? TF32 is here. We're going to talk about some stuff outside this channel. I'm going to talk about mental health for a little bit. So, I do have a new job at the moment. It's only 2 days a week, but it's enough to keep me busy. And honestly, it's a good job. I really enjoy it. There are some things. Work is work. You gotta get through it. But overall, I think it's a fun job, and I do enjoy it a lot. However, sometimes there are parts about work that do not need to be painful at all. When you're working at a job, there's deadlines you gotta hit. There's objectives that need to be met, and those are things you have no control over. You need to deal with those no matter what. However, sometimes you can cool it a little bit. You can afford to just slow down a tad, because if you end up finishing a little quicker, there could be other incentives that you could end up hitting, and it just ends up being a bit more difficult later. And I've been suffering with depression lately. It's been really getting to me, and I've come to realization every time that I kill myself and beat myself up that it's not the job that's a problem. It's me. And the only person that you can identify as the enemy in that situation is yourself. If you're doing stuff, if you ultimately control the pace, it's up to you to manage that pace and make it healthy for yourself. And that's what I've been struggling with. When I work, I usually like to push tremendously and just try to get stuff done. Excuse me. But sometimes pushing as hard as you can just sacrifice quality. And while it hasn't from my end, I think it's still been pretty high quality. It can really sacrifice mentality in turn for that. And there are some things that can be witnessed that you have no idea can be witnessed. And no matter what the situation is, no matter how much you hate your job, you gotta keep moving. You gotta have a positive attitude and just never stop until you see that light at the end of the tunnel. You could probably see that light over 100 miles away. Just keep going at it. And things have been pretty good for me lately. I'm very blessed to have this and these many other opportunities. I do have a podcast in the works as well where I talk about my autism diagnosis, and I bring on various guests. I bring on friends, children, parents of people on the autism spectrum, medical professionals, professors. There are loads of stuff. I have done my first podcast. It's not up yet, but I'll definitely link that in the description of one of my latest videos when we get on that. And in turn, I'll be plugging TF32 to that podcast as well, because I can spread the word about my fire content here. And while I will acknowledge I'm not getting the attention, I don't really care. I'm doing this because I have a lot of fun doing it, and as long as I have some friends and family that are able to stop by on occasion and get a good laugh and be entertained or educationally entertained, that's all I care about. All I need is a few people, or sometimes all I need is myself, and I enjoy doing it. And of course I do enjoy the game as well, and I think if you find something you're passionate about, you should keep running with it. If you think your goals are impossible, good. Keep pushing towards them. What you're passionate about, it should be difficult. It should be one of the hardest things you ever achieve in your life. And you should never give up in doing that, as long as the goals are realistic and within reach. Keep pushing, get funding for whatever you need, and just keep going. And If you're struggling mentally, call the hotline. It's there. Look for professional help. Get a therapist. I'm very blessed to have a therapist that's been a great support system for me. I've been using my therapist for 8 years, and that person has been there for me the whole step of the way, been my whole support system. I'm not going to mention anything about this person, but very good life coach to have. And I think everyone needs a life coach. So season 5 is going to be coming probably Friday. I have a couple videos. Oh yeah, some of my videos I forgot. Season 4, they're premiering. So I've completed season 4, but you guys haven't seen the ending to season 4 yet. So sticking to my schedule, you guys should be seeing the first episode of season 5, which I haven't recorded yet, on Friday. And I will see you then. If I just want to say again, if you're ever struggling, it's okay to cool off a little bit. You can never sacrifice your mental health. You gotta put your mentality first before anything else. If you have kids, put them before everything else. And just keep chugging, keep moving. But do it at a pace where you're not going to end up killing yourself in the end. And that stuff is never a joking matter. I mean, it's a very dark place. I've been there before, and it's never worth it. It never is. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and keep your heads up high, keep trucking, and never give up. Never give up until you hit that light at the end of the tunnel. Take care.